There was a woman who spent 3 years chasing manifestation like it was a second job. She collected crystals, burned sage at every moon phase, and filled 17 journals with affirmations. She attended workshops, bought courses, and memorized visualization techniques from every spiritual teacher she could find. Yet her bank account stayed empty. Her relationships remained the same. Her dreams felt more distant than ever. Then something shifted on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. She was sitting in her car after another disappointing meeting, not trying to manifest anything, not reciting affirmations, not visualizing abundance, just sitting. And in that moment of complete surrender, a knowing dropped in from somewhere beyond her mind. You've been pushing against the very thing you're trying to create. Everything she thought she knew about manifestation crumbled in that instant. She realized she'd been operating from the energy of lack while trying to create abundance. Every technique had been a subtle declaration that what she wanted wasn't already here. Every practice had been rooted in the belief that she needed to earn what was naturally hers. That was the day she stopped trying to manifest and started allowing what was already seeking her. What you want is not separate from you. It's not something you need to chase, convince, or prove yourself worthy of receiving. What you desire is already reaching toward you through the quantum field with the same intensity that you're reaching toward it. The question isn't whether manifestation works. The question is whether you're vibrationally available to receive what's already yours. But let's pause here because this understanding requires a complete rewiring of how you've been taught to relate to desire itself. From childhood, you learned that wanting something meant you didn't have it, that desiring something meant you were lacking it, that needing something meant you were incomplete without it. These aren't just thoughts. They're energetic patterns that have become embedded in your nervous system, creating an automatic response every time you feel a desire arise. Watch what happens in your body when you think about something you really want. Notice the tension, the urgency, the subtle anxiety that appears. This is your nervous system activating the frequency of lack because it's been conditioned to associate desire with separation. But what if desire isn't evidence of what you don't have? What if desire is actually evidence of what you're already connected to? In the quantum field, there's no such thing as empty space. What appears to be emptiness is actually a field of infinite potential, pregnant with every possibility that has ever existed or could ever exist. Your desires don't arise from lack. They arise from this field of potential recognizing itself through your consciousness. When you feel drawn to something, you're not identifying what's missing from your life. You're identifying what's ready to emerge into your experience. This changes everything about how you relate to manifestation, because it means your desires are not problems to be solved, but gifts to be received. They're not evidence that something is wrong with your current reality, but invitations to expand into a fuller expression of who you are. They're not random wants generated by your ego, but precise communications from the universe about what's seeking to manifest through you. Most people make manifestation impossibly complex because they've been taught that anything worthwhile requires struggle. They layer technique upon technique, believing that more effort equals faster results. But here's what quantum science reveals about consciousness and reality. The field responds not to your effort, but to your coherence. Not to your desperation, but to your alignment. Not to your wanting, but to your being. Think about how a tuning fork works. When you strike one tuning fork, any other tuning fork of the same frequency will begin to vibrate in resonance, even if it's across the room. They don't have to try to match each other. They don't have to work at harmonizing. They naturally entrain to the same frequency because that's how vibrational systems operate. This is exactly how manifestation works in the quantum field. Your consciousness is like a tuning fork, constantly broadcasting a vibrational frequency based on your predominant emotional state, your beliefs about reality, and your nervous system's sense of safety or threat. Everything you desire exists at specific frequencies in the quantum field. When your personal frequency aligns with the frequency of what you want, resonance occurs automatically, not through effort, but through coherence. But here's where most people get stuck. They try to change their frequency through mental effort alone, using affirmations, visualizations, and positive thinking to override their deeper emotional patterns. This is like trying to change the sound of a guitar by thinking different thoughts about the strings. The frequency of the instrument is determined by the tension in the strings, not by what you think about the music it could make. Your emotional body is like those guitar strings. The frequency you broadcast is determined by the emotional tension or ease you carry around specific topics. If you have emotional tension around money, stored trauma from past financial stress, or nervous system activation around survival, no amount of positive thinking about abundance will change your vibrational frequency around wealth. The field responds to what you feel, not what you think you should feel. You've been living inside a paradigm that says you must work for what you want. But quantum manifestation operates from an entirely different premise. You don't create what you want. You become receptive to what's already seeking you. You don't manifest through force. You manifest through resonance. You don't attract by trying harder. You attract by trying less and being more. This isn't spiritual bypassing or wishful thinking. This is the science of how consciousness interacts with the quantum field. When you understand how reality actually forms at the quantum level, manifestation becomes not a practice you do, but a natural expression of who you are. The reason most manifestation teachings leave you frustrated is because they're teaching you to manipulate reality from the outside, when reality can only be shifted from within. They're teaching you to chase what you want, when what you want is already moving toward you. They're teaching you to become someone worthy of your desires, when you're already vibrationally matched to everything you've ever dreamed of having. But here's where it gets interesting. The simplicity of true manifestation is precisely what makes it challenging for most people to accept. Because simplicity requires surrender. And surrender threatens every story you've been told about how life works. It threatens the belief that you must earn love, struggle for success, and prove your worthiness for abundance. What if none of that was true? What if the very act of trying to manifest was creating resistance to the manifestation? What if your desires are not goals to achieve, but frequencies to embody? What if manifestation isn't about getting something you don't have, but about removing the barriers to what's already yours? This is the quantum truth that changes everything. You are not separate from what you desire. You and your desires exist in the same unified field of consciousness. When you want something, that wanting creates a corresponding movement in the field. Your desire literally calls your manifestation into existence across all possible timelines simultaneously. But here's where quantum mechanics gets mystical. In the many worlds interpretation of quantum physics, every possible outcome of every possible situation exists simultaneously in parallel realities. Right now, there's a version of you that already has everything you've ever wanted. There's a timeline where you're already living in abundance, another where you're in perfect health, another where you're experiencing the love you've always dreamed of. These aren't fantasies or potential futures. They're actual realities existing right now in the quantum multiverse. The question isn't whether these realities exist, because quantum science confirms that they do. The question is which reality you're tuning into with your consciousness, which timeline you're collapsing into your experience through your vibrational frequency, which version of infinite possibilities you're making real through your moment-to-moment choices about what to believe, feel, and embody. This is why manifestation isn't about creating something new. It's about selecting which already existing reality you want to experience. It's about shifting your consciousness from the timeline where you don't have what you want to the timeline where you already do. It's about quantum jumping between parallel versions of yourself until you land in the reality that matches your deepest desires. But most people never make this jump because they're trying to get to a different timeline while remaining emotionally anchored to their current one. They want to experience abundance while continuing to feel scarcity. They want to manifest love while staying familiar with loneliness. They want to create success while maintaining their comfort with struggle. This creates what quantum physicists call interference patterns, where multiple frequencies cancel each other out instead of amplifying each other. Imagine trying to tune into a radio station while simultaneously broadcasting static on the same frequency. The signal gets muddled, distorted, unclear. This is what happens when you try to manifest from a divided consciousness. When part of you wants something new, while another part of you clings to what's familiar, even if what's familiar is limitation. The art of quantum manifestation is learning to become singular in your frequency, coherent in your vibration, unified in your consciousness. It's about aligning every level of your being, mental, emotional, physical, energetic, with the reality you're choosing to experience. Not through force or effort, but through recognition and embodiment. But most people never receive what they're calling in because they're vibrating from the frequency of separation rather than union. They're broadcasting need instead of knowing. They're radiating effort instead of ease. And the field, which is always perfectly responsive, mirrors back exactly what they're putting out. Let me share something that will shift how you understand the relationship between you and your desires. In quantum physics, there's a principle called entanglement. When two particles become entangled, they remain connected regardless of the distance between them. What affects one instantly affects the other. They're not separate entities. They're one system expressing in two locations. Your consciousness and your desires operate the same way. They're entangled in the quantum field. When you desire something, you're not reaching towards something external. You're recognizing something that's already vibrationally connected to you. Your desire is the universe's way of showing you what's ready to manifest through you. But here's what blocks this natural flow. The moment you start trying to make it happen, you create interference in the entanglement. It's like trying to force two magnets together. The harder you push, the more they resist. But when you simply allow them to find their natural attraction, they come together effortlessly. This is why manifestation becomes exponentially more powerful when you release the need to control how, when, and where it happens. Because control is based on the illusion that you and your desires are separate. But alignment is based on the truth that you're already one. So how do you move from trying to allowing? How do you shift from effort to ease? How do you become receptive to what's already seeking you? It starts with understanding that your nervous system, not your mind, is the primary manifestation mechanism. Your nervous system is constantly broadcasting your vibrational signature to the quantum field. And that signature is not determined by what you think or say, but by what you feel and embody. When your nervous system believes you already have what you want, the field responds by collapsing that timeline into your physical reality. But when your nervous system is activated by lack, fear, or desperation, no amount of positive thinking can override that signal. Your body becomes a transmission tower broadcasting scarcity, and the field reflects that frequency back to you with perfect precision. This is why true manifestation work is nervous system work. It's not about programming your mind with new thoughts. It's about teaching your body to feel safe in the frequency of having what you want. It's about embodying the emotional signature of your fulfilled desires until that signature becomes your natural state. And here's the beautiful paradox. The moment your nervous system truly embodies the feeling of already having what you want, you stop needing it in the same desperate way. You want it, but you don't need it. You desire it, but you're not attached to it. You're open to receiving it, but you're complete without it. This energetic state is magnetic because it's free from the resistance that comes with neediness. When you're complete within yourself, you become a vacuum for everything that matches your wholeness. When you're abundant in your energy, abundance flows to you effortlessly. When you're love in your frequency, love finds you everywhere. Take a moment and comment below with this phrase, "I am already whole." Let this be your declaration to the quantum field that you're no longer trying to become something you're not. You're simply remembering what you've always been. This isn't about convincing yourself of something that isn't true. This is about recognizing the truth that's been hidden beneath layers of conditioning. You are not broken and needing to be fixed. You are not lacking and needing to be filled. You are already whole, already complete, already connected to everything you desire. But your conditioning has trained you to look for evidence of what's missing instead of what's already here. You've been taught to focus on what you don't have instead of what you're already receiving. You've been conditioned to believe that wanting something means you're separate from it, when wanting is actually the first movement of manifestation. Here's what changes when you truly understand this. You stop trying to get things from the universe and start allowing things to flow through you. You stop seeing yourself as separate from your desires and start recognizing yourself as the space through which they manifest. You stop being a beggar, asking for scraps, and start being a co-creator, collaborating with infinite intelligence. This shift in identity changes everything because it changes your vibrational signature. Instead of broadcasting need, you broadcast readiness. Instead of radiating desperation, you radiate receptivity. Instead of transmitting lack, you transmit love. And love is the frequency that dissolves all resistance between you and what you're calling in. But love here doesn't mean emotional attachment. It means energetic alignment. It means being in harmony with the natural flow of creation. It means trusting that what's meant for you is already on its way to you. It means knowing that the universe is not working against you, but as you. This trust is not blind faith. It's scientific understanding. Quantum physics shows us that consciousness is the fundamental ground of reality. Your awareness doesn't just observe reality. It participates in creating reality. Every moment, your consciousness is collapsing infinite possibilities into singular experiences. The question is whether you're collapsing possibilities that align with your desires or possibilities that perpetuate your limitations. But here's what makes this understanding revolutionary. Most people think consciousness is something that happens inside their brain, contained within their skull, limited to their personal thoughts and perceptions. But quantum field theory reveals something far more extraordinary. Consciousness isn't local. It's not confined to your individual mind. It's a field phenomenon that extends beyond the boundaries of your physical body and connects you to the universal intelligence that orchestrates all of reality. This means your thoughts, emotions, and intentions don't just affect your personal experience. They ripple out into the quantum field and influence the fabric of reality itself. When you shift your consciousness, you're not just changing your inner world, you're participating in the continuous creation of the collective reality that we all share. This is why individual transformation is never just personal. It's always cosmic. Every time you choose love over fear, abundance over scarcity, trust over control, you're not just improving your own life, you're strengthening those frequencies in the collective field, making it easier for others to access and embody them. Every time you collapse a timeline of limitation and step into a timeline of possibility, you're expanding what's available for all consciousness to experience. This is the deeper purpose behind manifestation that most teachings miss. It's not about getting what you want so you can be happy. It's about becoming the kind of consciousness that naturally attracts what it desires so that you can serve the evolution of all consciousness. It's about embodying the frequencies of love, abundance, joy, and peace so powerfully that you become a living transmission of these qualities for everyone around you. When you understand manifestation from this perspective, everything changes. You're no longer trying to manipulate reality for personal gain. You're aligning with the evolutionary impulse of consciousness itself. You're not taking from a limited supply of good things. You're increasing the abundance available to everyone by demonstrating what's possible when someone fully embodies their divine nature. This shift in motivation changes the quality of your manifestations because it removes the ego's agenda and aligns you with the universe's agenda. And the universe's agenda is always the expansion of love, consciousness, and creative expression. When your desires are in harmony with this cosmic purpose, the entire field of reality reorganizes itself to support your manifestations. But this doesn't mean you need to have noble or spiritual desires for manifestation to work. The universe doesn't judge your wants as good or bad, spiritual or material, worthy or unworthy. Every desire you have, even the seemingly selfish ones, serves the expansion of consciousness when approached from this understanding of unity and interconnection. When you desire financial abundance, you're not just seeking personal security, you're exploring consciousness through the frequency of prosperity. When you desire romantic love, you're not just seeking personal fulfillment, you're investigating consciousness through the frequency of intimate connection. When you desire creative expression, you're not just seeking personal satisfaction. You're allowing consciousness to know itself through the frequency of artistic beauty. Every manifestation is consciousness exploring its own infinite potential through your unique perspective and experience. This is why your desires matter to the universe. They're not random wants that you happen to have. They're specific ways that universal consciousness is seeking to express itself through the prism of your individual awareness. When you operate from trust instead of fear, from knowing instead of hoping, from being instead of trying, you naturally collapse the timelines where your desires are already fulfilled. Not because you forced it to happen, but because you removed the resistance that was preventing it from happening. This is the difference between manifestation as manipulation and manifestation as collaboration. When you try to manipulate reality, you're operating from the belief that the universe is resistant to your desires. But when you collaborate with reality, you're operating from the understanding that the universe is conspiring for your desires. If this understanding is shifting something in your perception, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps this frequency reach others who are ready for this truth. And here's the evidence for this understanding. And here's the evidence for this understanding. Look at everything that has ever flowed into your life effortlessly. Your breath, your heartbeat, your cellular regeneration. You don't try to make these happen. They happen through you because you're aligned with the intelligence that creates them. Manifestation works the same way when you align with the intelligence that creates everything. The practices that actually work are not about doing more, but about being more receptive. They're not about adding techniques to your routine, but about removing barriers from your energy. They're not about convincing the universe to give you what you want, but about becoming available to receive what's already yours. So let me share with you the most effective practice I know for shifting from trying to allowing, from effort to ease, from resistance to receptivity. It's called the recognition protocol, and it works by training your nervous system to recognize what's already here instead of focusing on what's missing. First, create space for stillness. This doesn't require hours of meditation or elaborate rituals. Just 5 minutes of uninterrupted presence where you're not trying to fix, change, or improve anything. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and let your breath find its natural rhythm. Next, bring to mind something you desire. But instead of focusing on not having it, focus on the quality of energy it would bring to your life. If you desire abundance, focus on the feeling of security and freedom. If you desire love, focus on the feeling of connection and appreciation. If you desire health, focus on the feeling of vitality and ease. Now here's the key. Instead of trying to generate these feelings, look for where you're already experiencing them in your life right now. Where do you already feel secure? Where do you already feel loved? Where do you already feel vital? Let yourself fully receive these existing experiences instead of dismissing them as not enough. As you breathe into these present moments of fulfillment, notice how your body responds. Notice how your nervous system begins to relax. Notice how the energy of having becomes more familiar than the energy of wanting. This is the frequency that magnetizes more of what you're already receiving. I'm curious about your experience with this shift. Share in the comments below. What's one moment when you felt yourself move from wanting to already having? What did that recognition feel like in your body? The final step is integration. Instead of ending the practice and immediately focusing on what's still missing, carry this frequency of recognition into your day. Let yourself notice where life is already saying yes to you instead of only seeing where it seems to be saying no. This practice works because it trains your nervous system to feel familiar with having what you want. And familiarity is the secret to manifestation. The field brings you more of what feels normal to you, not what feels exciting or special. When abundance feels normal, abundance flows. When love feels normal, love multiplies. When success feels normal, success accelerates. But there's another layer to this that most people miss. Your nervous system doesn't just need to feel familiar with having what you want. It needs to feel safe with having what you want. This is where many manifestations get blocked. Not because you can't receive them, but because your nervous system perceives receiving them as dangerous. Think about it. What would actually change in your life if you manifested everything you say you want? How would your relationships shift? What responsibilities would you have? What expectations would others place on you? What aspects of your identity would need to evolve? Your nervous system is constantly calculating these potential changes and determining whether they feel safe or threatening. If your nervous system associates wealth with greed, love with vulnerability, success with isolation, or visibility with danger, it will unconsciously sabotage your manifestations to keep you in the comfort zone of limitation. This isn't personal failing or lack of worthiness. It's biological programming designed to keep you alive, even when that programming is outdated and no longer serves your growth. This is why true manifestation work often involves healing not just your relationship to desire, but your relationship to receiving, having, being seen, taking up space, and claiming your power. It requires updating your nervous system's safety settings so that expansion feels safer than contraction, abundance feels safer than scarcity, and love feels safer than protection. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through what I call embodiment rehearsal. This involves spending time each day not just visualizing what you want, but actually practicing being the person who already has it. How would you move through your day if you already had the relationship you want? How would you make decisions if you already had the abundance you desire? How would you treat yourself and others if you already embodied the confidence you're seeking? This isn't pretending or fake it till you make it. This is nervous system training. You're giving your body evidence that it's safe to be this expanded version of yourself. You're creating new neural pathways that support the identity of someone who naturally receives what they desire. You're building emotional muscles that can handle higher frequencies of joy, abundance, love, and success. As you practice this embodiment, pay attention to what resistance arises. Notice where your nervous system wants to contract back into familiar limitation. These moments of resistance are gold mines of information about what needs to be healed, updated, or released for your manifestations to flow freely. Maybe you notice that when you embody abundance, a voice in your head says you're being greedy or selfish. This reveals a belief that needs to be transformed. Maybe when you embody love, you feel vulnerable and exposed. This shows you where safety needs to be cultivated. Maybe when you embody success, you feel guilty or undeserving. This points to worthiness wounds that are ready to be healed. Each piece of resistance is actually a gift because it shows you exactly what's standing between you and what you want. And once you see it clearly, you can work with it consciously instead of being unconsciously controlled by it. But here's what most people resist about this approach. It seems too simple. It doesn't require years of study or complex techniques. It doesn't make you feel like you're working hard enough to deserve what you want. It challenges the conditioning that says anything valuable must be difficult to achieve. If this recognition of simplicity is touching something in you, if it's activating a remembering of what you've always known but forgotten, then I invite you to subscribe not just to this channel, but to this frequency of trust. Because the more you surround yourself with this understanding, the more natural it becomes to live from it. This is not about consuming more content about manifestation. This is about embodying the truth that you already are what you're seeking to become. This is about recognizing that the search itself is what creates the sense of separation from what you're searching for. And here's something profound that happens when you truly embody this understanding. You stop being someone who manifests things and start being someone through whom things manifest. You stop being a person with desires and start being consciousness experiencing itself through desire fulfillment. You stop being separate from the universe and start being the universe knowing itself through your unique perspective. This shift in identity is the ultimate manifestation teaching because it reveals that there's nothing to manifest. There's only consciousness recognizing itself in infinite forms. Your desires are not things you need to get. They're ways consciousness is expressing itself through you. Your manifestations are not achievements you earn. They're gifts consciousness gives itself through your willingness to receive. But to live from this understanding requires releasing every story about why manifestation should be hard, why you should have to earn what you want, why you're not deserving of immediate fulfillment. These stories are not your truth. They're collective programming that keeps most people locked in cycles of effort without ease, wanting without receiving, trying without thriving. Let me share with you the most common stories that block manifestation and how to release them. The first story is that good things take time. This seems reasonable and even virtuous, but it's actually a limitation disguised as wisdom. In the quantum field, there's no such thing as linear time. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously. The only reason manifestations seem to take time is because your consciousness is moving through different frequencies at the speed of your willingness to embody them. When you truly align with the frequency of what you want, when your nervous system feels completely safe with having it, when your identity shifts to match it, manifestation can happen instantly. The delay is never in the field's ability to deliver. The delay is in your readiness to receive. The second story is that you need to suffer to grow. This belief is so embedded in human consciousness that many people unconsciously create struggle to feel spiritual or worthy. But suffering is not required for evolution. Challenge and growth can happen through joy, expansion, and ease just as effectively as through pain and limitation. In fact, when you're in states of joy and ease, you're more open to receiving insights, downloads, and quantum leaps that accelerate your development. The third story is that manifesting material things is somehow less spiritual than manifesting inner peace or wisdom. This creates a hierarchy of desires that fragments your consciousness and blocks your manifestations. The same quantum principles that create inner transformation create outer abundance. The same consciousness that manifests peace manifests prosperity. The universe doesn't distinguish between spiritual and material because everything is spirit expressing as matter. The fourth story is that if something is meant for you, it will happen effortlessly, so you shouldn't want or try. This passive approach misses the creative partnership between you and the universe. You're not meant to be passive recipients of whatever life delivers. You're meant to be conscious co-creators, actively participating in designing your experience through your choices, intentions, and vibrational alignment. The fifth story is that manifestation is selfish, or that focusing on your desires takes energy away from serving others. This reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of how consciousness works. When you manifest from alignment, when you embody the frequencies of love, abundance, joy, and peace, you become a living example of what's possible for everyone. Your fulfilled desires don't diminish what's available for others. They expand it by demonstrating that limitation is optional. As you begin to release these stories, you might notice that your mind tries to hold on to them because they've been part of your identity for so long. This is normal and expected. Your mind has been using these limitations as a form of protection, even though they're actually creating the problems they're trying to solve. Be patient and compassionate with yourself as you navigate this transition. Remember that you're not just changing your thoughts about manifestation. You're rewiring neural pathways, updating nervous system programming, and shifting the very foundation of how you relate to reality. This is deep work that deserves reverence and gentleness. And trust that as you release these old stories, new possibilities will naturally emerge. You don't need to figure out what to believe instead. Just create space by letting go of what no longer serves and allow the truth to reveal itself through your direct experience. When you release these stories, something miraculous happens. Life becomes a flow of continuous manifestation because you're no longer creating resistance to the natural abundance that's always seeking to express through you. You become a clear channel for consciousness to know itself through the fulfillment of desires. And this is where the quantum aspect becomes undeniable. The field doesn't distinguish between small desires and large desires, simple manifestations and complex manifestations. It only recognizes vibrational frequency. When you're aligned with the frequency of receiving, everything you're aligned with flows to you with equal ease. This means your bank balance, your relationships, your health, your creativity, your purpose, all of it can shift as quickly as your frequency shifts. There's no hierarchy of difficulty in the quantum field. There's only alignment or resistance, coherence or confusion, allowing or forcing. Most manifestation teachings make it seem like you need different techniques for different desires, but quantum science reveals that all manifestation happens through the same mechanism. Consciousness collapses possibilities into experiences based on vibrational resonance. Change your resonance, change your reality. It's that simple and that profound. But simple doesn't mean easy for most people because simple requires surrendering the complexity that the mind uses to feel important. Simple requires trusting something bigger than your personal will. Simple requires being willing to receive without having figured out how you earned it. This surrender is not defeat. It's the ultimate victory because it's the recognition that you don't have to fight reality to get what you want. Reality is not your enemy. Reality is the field through which consciousness expresses its infinite creativity. And you are not separate from that consciousness. You are that consciousness knowing itself through your unique desires and manifestations. When this truth becomes your lived experience, rather than just an intellectual concept, manifestation stops being something you do and becomes something you are. You don't manifest abundance. You are abundance expressing as form. You don't manifest love. You are love recognizing itself everywhere. You don't manifest success. You are consciousness celebrating its own infinite potential. And from this recognition, everything you've ever wanted becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Because what you want is not something external that may or may not choose you. What you want is consciousness expressing its desire to know itself more fully through your willingness to embody its infinite possibilities. Consider watching this video every morning for the next week to attune your nervous system to this frequency of recognition. And if someone in your life is struggling with manifestation or feeling stuck in patterns of effort without ease, share this with them. When you share these quantum consciousness concepts, you create an energetic ripple effect that reinforces your own understanding while expanding collective awareness of what's truly possible. This is why manifestation is simpler than you think. Because it's not about getting something you don't have. It's about recognizing what you've always been. It's not about becoming worthy of your desires. It's about remembering that your desires exist because you're already worthy of them. It's not about convincing the universe to give you what you want. It's about realizing that you and the universe are not separate. So as we reach the end of this journey together, I want you to feel into this truth. What you want is not something you need to chase. It's already seeking you. What you desire is not something you need to earn. It's already chosen you. What you're calling in is not something separate from you. It's the universe recognizing itself through your unique expression. Take a moment to drop one word in the comments that captures the energy you're choosing to embody as you move forward. Let this be your energetic signature to the quantum field. Your declaration of who you're choosing to be rather than what you're trying to get. And if this understanding is resonating with you, If it's activating something you've always known but perhaps forgotten, then subscribe not just to stay connected, but to stay coherent with this frequency of trust and recognition. Because the more of us who embody this truth, the more the world reflects the reality that abundance, love, and fulfillment are not scarce resources to be fought over, but infinite expressions of consciousness to be celebrated and shared. The quantum field is not neutral. It's responsive, it's alive, it's intelligent. And it's already moving everything you've ever wanted toward you at the speed of your willingness to receive it. Not the speed of your effort, but the speed of your receptivity. Not the speed of your trying, but the speed of your trusting. Not the speed of your working, but the speed of your being. What you want wants you back. It's been seeking you through every desire you've ever had. It's been calling you through every dream you've ever dreamed. It's been reaching for you through every vision you've ever seen. And now it's time to stop running from it and start running toward it. Not by doing more, but by being more available to what's already here. This is the quantum truth that changes everything. You are not separate from what you want. You are the space through which it manifests. You are the consciousness through which it expresses. You are the love through which it comes into form. And that recognition is not the beginning of your manifestation journey. It's the completion of it. Because when you realize that you and your desires are one in the field of consciousness, seeking ends and receiving begins. Wanting ends and having begins. Trying ends and being begins. And in that beginning, that's actually a return to what you've always been. Everything you've ever wanted finds its way home to you. Now, to deepen your understanding of how this quantum field actually responds to your consciousness, you'll want to explore how quantum entanglement proves your thoughts create reality. This reveals the scientific mechanism behind everything we've discussed today.